And the idea is to create a whole new set of laws and ignore the existing human rights laws and other laws under the pretext of pandemic preparedness and the biosecurity agenda. The WHO is developing through all its nations, but with the WHO Directorate in the United States in charge, a pandemic treaty and amendments to the existing international health regulations that will remove the human rights protections currently embedded in the IHRs, will enforce surveillance, censorship, get rid of freedom of speech, require governments to censor and only push a single narrative. Also, we will be subject, if they can make this work, to vaccines developed in 100 days, which the organization CEPI is planning to do. And one of the people who founded CEPI was Jeremy Farrar, who is now the chief scientist at the WHO, to bring this forward. Other things that amendments do is to bind the states so they're no longer recommendations but enforceable edicts. Provide a liability shield, get rid of intellectual property rights, move supplies from one country to another, enforce digital passports, and the Director General of WHO can demand that a pandemic or a potential pandemic exists. He can just declare it with no standards, and then countries around the world will have to obey. Also, the WHO will tell you what drugs you can and can't use in your nation once a pandemic is declared. Obviously, the budget will increase. One Health is another part of this. One Health is a concept that was created to enable the WHO, with these documents, to take over jurisdiction of everything in the world by saying that climate change, animals, plants, water systems, ecosystems are all central to health. Also embedded in this concept is a peculiar notion that humans are no longer of greater value than animals.
There you go, Mesh. You heard what that lady was saying. And, you know, I'm sure you already knew something like that was bound to happen anyways. And if any of you are holding out hope that someone, that a bunch of people are going to throw down their signatures and put a stop to it, don't hold your breath, is all I can say. And I don't know if you heard it or not, but today, all over the news, people's talking about how they just authorized the use of the jabs being sprayed out of airplanes up in the atmosphere so it covers big areas, and they don't need anyone's approval. Right there it is. And I looked at the articles, and yep, it's going to be hard to escape from all that. So if you wondered, like I know I've been talking about that if you're still out there somewhere in the eastern part of the country, wherever, that if they drop some bombs or whatever, you know, it might land in New York and whatever. And I know you see all the military ramping up. Biden has reinstituted the draft. Russia has mobilized. That means they have made all men from the age of 18 up to like 76. They have like sent them letters to let them know to be on standby, because if they call them, so they're already drafted. Like when they say mobilization, I'm pretty sure that means that all of them men will or could possibly have to go to war. And I'm pretty sure China done the same thing, and I think a few other countries have. So everything's ramping up, and if the WHO gets those powers, no doubt they'll probably be spraying stuff out of the airplanes, and all you'll be able to do is hope, pray to the Most High that He gives you a place to go to get away from it, because you couldn't go down into a cave and escape it, because it'll get into the water. It's going to get everywhere. And like I said, the excess deaths from that guy John Campbell, he said 140,000 a week just in America. And I know it doesn't seem like it's that many, but that's what the hospitals, the data, like the insurance companies and the hospitals, whatever, that's the statistics that they are reporting. And if they're reporting it, it might even be more than that. Who knows? But what I got to show you here from His Word, I don't even have words for it, really. It's going to, how can I say this? I'm at a loss for words, really, because it's just so amazing. A boatload of pearls. Put your bib on. And I hope you've come hungry and thirsty, because if you have, man. So, right here, Revelations chapter 22, verse 17 says, "And the Spirit and the bride say, Come. And he who hears, let him say, Come. And he who thirsts, come. And he who desires it, take the water of life without pain." Now, Mishpachah, before I go any further, whoever's listening to this, have you ever wanted to know what this stuff means that you read here in Revelations? Have you ever been reading it and it's just like it don't make no sense? Well, don't touch that dial, and I'm going to try to, Abba willing, relay what He showed me here tonight. And yeah, you be the judge. So, back up here at the top, okay? So many people, and I can't say that I've ever thought this. I always thought something was up when I read things like over here in chapter 21. Let me see. I think it's in 21. Yeah, right here. Like when I would read about the new city, the new Jerusalem coming down, and I would read how it says right here, it says, having the esteem of the Most High, and her light was like a precious stone, like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. So I need you to hear what I'm saying right here, Mishpachah. Can a light be like a precious jasper stone, clear as crystal? Light can be clear? Is that what it's saying? And then it says having a high, great and high wall, having 12 gates. And then wait, let's see, where's the foundation? Oh, right here. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and on them were the name of the 12 emissaries. Let me see. This is what I was wanting to find. And the foundations of the wall of the city were adorned with all kinds of precious stones, like jasper, sapphire. It tells you all these stones, right? That the wall is adorned with, right? The foundation of the wall. And then if just all it takes is for you to desire and to want to know the truth. You know, just ask yourself right now, what do you think's going to happen in the end? If you die or whatever, what do you think's going to happen? If you think that you're going to heaven, can I just be honest? Can I ask you, where did you hear that from? Where'd you hear it? If you believe, I don't know, you know, whatever it is you believe, where did you hear that? If you're honest with yourself and you have no problem reading this word with me right here, and like I said, don't take it from me. Let's reason about this together. Let's see if what Revelation says right here adds up to what you have been told, or what it is you believe that will happen in the end, okay? So, and there's so many clues. Everything it says, every word pretty much is your clue. And you have to be a lover of it. You have to be a treasure hunter. This is like the greatest treasure hunt that has ever existed. This is a treasure map, and there's no other treasure map that can come close to it. So, right here, okay? Chapter 21, verse 1 says, "And I saw a renewed heaven and a renewed earth. For the former heaven and the former earth had passed away, and the sea is no more." And, okay, everything, like I said, every word, it's a clue. So the majority of the world of believers, they believe, they're waiting to see a city floating down out of the sky, okay? And this must be where they get it from, right? So let's think about what this says. It says, "For the former heaven and the former earth had passed away, and the sea is no more." Isn't the sea up along with the earth, a part of the earth? Keep that in mind. I, John, saw the set-apart city, renewed Jerusalem, coming down out of the heaven from the Most High, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the heaven saying, "See, the booth of the Most High is with men, and he shall dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their Most High." Now, like, right here. And verse 6, and it says, "And he said to me, It is done. I am the Aleph and the Toph, the beginning and the end. To the one who thirsts, I shall give of the fountain of the water of life without payment." Now, the same people who believe that the city will be coming down out of the sky, they believe that that's real water, that if you drink it or something, it's like the fountain of youth or something, okay? Now, let me ask you something. Can you also be honest with yourself and say, what would you believe? Would you believe that there's water that you can drink that's like the fountain of youth that you're going to be drinking, that's some kind of magical water? Does that sound believable to you? Or is it what the Most High has been showing us, that these words are all codes for something? Okay? Could that be the case? Could the water, because I've been telling you, been showing you that in the word, the water, it means the truth. So he says, to the one who thirsts, I shall give, let's just humor me. To the one who thirsts, I shall give of the fountain. Let's take water out and just take truth and put truth in there. To the one I shall give who thirsts, I shall give of the fountain of the truth of life without payment. Without payment. It doesn't cost anything for as far as money goes. The one who overcomes shall inherit all this. And I shall be his most high, and he shall be my son. But as for the cowardly, what have I been saying? Just think of everything I've been saying to you. Okay? Now, we're going to get all this, but I want to show you some things first so you can kind of see right here. Okay, there's this one thing I just caught a few minutes ago, and I couldn't believe that I hadn't realized it before. And it's talking about the city coming down, great city, the set apart Jerusalem, descending out of the heaven from the Most High, having the esteem of the Most High, and her light was like a precious stone, like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. Most people think when it says the esteem, I don't even know what they think. I don't know if it's just like, oh, I don't know. I don't know how they picture that, but so having a great and high wall, having 12 gates, and at the gates 12 messengers. And people think that's 12 angels that are going to be standing at them gates. And the names written on them, which are those of the 12 tribes of the children of Yasharal. It tells you 3 gates on the east, on the north, on the west, and on the south. Okay? And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and on them were the names of the 12 emissaries. And right down here, okay, and the structure of its wall was jasper, okay, so it's saying that the entire wall was made of jasper is what it's saying. And the city was clean gold, like clear glass. Are you seeing what this is? You see, are you sure that the city was clean gold, like clear glass? The city is? And what is clean gold that looks like clear glass? Does that even make sense? It doesn't make no sense, does it? And the foundations of the wall were adorned with all kinds of precious stones. This is what caught my eye right here that I couldn't believe I didn't realize. The first foundation, jasper. Second, sapphire. All these stones, you know what these stones represent? You know where else you can find the same, well, almost the same description of those stones? They're what's in the priestly garment, in the chest, in the ephod. That picture I always show on my videos, the chest piece, that's them stones. What if you can be patient and hear what I'm going to show you? It's only for those who thirst, though. You know, look, you heard what this said a minute ago. What I first read, it says, to those who thirst, I say, come. To those, you know, if you want to live, this said the fountain of life. To those who thirst, we will get the water from the fountain of life. That means you get to live. If you want all that and you thirst, don't touch the dial. Because if you do, you ain't thirsty. And there you go. Only the thirsty. So, and look, here's another clue. Verse 21, and the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Each one of the gates was a single pearl. I've had so many people, when I've talked about that with them, they've said, yeah, the gates are solid pearls. So what was they thinking? Well, were they thinking a great big pearl was the gate? What do they just like get on it and it spins or something and you just go around and get inside? The pearls are great pearls of truth, okay? What do you have to do to find a pearl? It's hard to find, isn't it? You have to get it out of the bottom of the ocean. You have to go to the bottom of the ocean and get a clam and crack it open, and it's hard to crack open and dig the pearl out. So the gate is going to be hard to find, but you have to find it. And you seen back up here, the gates were for the 12 tribes. So whoever comes in them gates are going to be of the 12 tribes. It's not like these Christians think that because the 3 gates over here are for this tribe, they think that those 3 tribes got to come in through that gate or something. You know, like it's a subway station or something. You know, it's crazy. But I'm telling you, pay attention, Mishpika. Right here, verse 22, and it says, "And I saw no dwelling place in it," no dwelling place in the city, big city. "For Yahuwah El Shaddai is its dwelling place, and the Lamb." And this is the key right here. "And the city had no need of the sun, nor of the moon to shine in it. For the esteem of the Most High lightened it." That the esteem of the Most High lightened it, and the Lamb is its lamp. Mishpika, if you really want the truth, you're gonna engage in me with this and what I'm talking about right here. Because if not, then I'm gonna know whoever watches this really don't want the truth. And y'all don't want to live, and that makes me sad. I hope you do want to live. Mishpika, this is all a figure of speech. Okay? This is a map. This is telling you what you got to do. The esteem of the Most High lightened it, and the truth is its lamp. The Christians and everybody, all the world who never read the word, who don't care, they just like going to church, and they like looking nice, and they really don't pay attention. They kind of fall asleep at church, and they don't go back and read the Bible. The Bible's where the truth is, though. That's where it's at. Because them people, they always thought when they read this that the Most High, that light's going to be radiating off of the Most High and the Messiah, and that's how you see to walk around. Is that not silly? That's crazy. That's not true. And the nations of those who are saved, anyone who's saved, shall walk in its light. What's that mean? Does that mean what they're talking about? That you get to, that because the light's coming off the Most High, as he just, I always used to think that too. I always used to wonder, well, what does he just sit there on the throne all day and light everything in there so we can see what we're doing? And there is no night. There's no, you know what I mean? These are all figures of speech. They're code words. The night, when it says the city has no need of the sun nor of the moon to shine in it, I've been telling you, it's been saying that the land has been covered in thick darkness. Okay? It's been, the light is to show you the way. That's why the Messiah is the way, the truth, and the life. Okay? And its gates shall not be shut at all by day, for night shall not be there. Just think about what that means. I've been telling you that for a couple years now. Some of you might remember, I've been saying I'm a gatekeeper. I used to say that all the time, like, enter the gatekeeper. You remember that? Well, if the gates are a pearl, a great pearl, That means it's a truth. It's a great truth that's hard to find. You got to dig it. It's not just laying right out in the open where everyone can find it. You have to dig for it. That's what this means. Verse 26, and they shall bring the esteem and the appreciation of the nations into it. So let's look. Let's just do this, okay? For the esteem of the Most High lightened it, okay? It's saying that the esteem of the Most High lightened it, and that the world thinks that that's some light radiating off of the Most High. But down here it says, and they shall bring the esteem and the appreciation of the nations into it. And there shall by no means enter into it whatever is unclean, neither anyone doing abomination and falsehood, but only those who are written in the Lamb's book of life. No one will be able to come into it if they're doing falsehood or abomination or whatever is unclean. And see, people always just picture like when it comes down and sets, the Most High will be sitting on his throne and the Lamb, and it lights all of its area up, and all of us who get to be in there can walk around and we can see where we're going, and then all the bad people are out on the outside and they don't get to come through the gates. There's like people sitting in front of the gates that say, you ain't coming in because you're unclean. You're an abomination. You see what I mean? Mishpachah. It's time to wake up. Snap out of the spell that this thing has had us under. That's not true. I'm telling you right now. And verse 1 of 22, and he showed me a river of water of life, clear as crystal, coming from the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb. In the middle of its street and on either side of the river. Did you catch that? In the middle of its street and on either side of the river was the tree of life. So in the middle of the street's the tree of life, and on the other side, that just don't make no sense, does it? Which bore 12 fruits, each yielding its fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. Now, all them people that believe all them other fairy tales, I think they believe that if you crush the leaves up, you won't be sick anymore. Mishpachah, I'm telling you, everything I've been telling you, not that I've been telling you, everything I've been relaying to you about the highway, that's what this is about. That's what this is about. And no longer shall there be any curse. What I've been telling you the curse is. The curse is the covering of the land, the hiding, the darkness. And the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb shall be in it, and its servant shall serve him. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be upon their foreheads. And night shall be no more, and they shall have no need of a lamp, or the light of the sun, because Yahuwah the Most High shall give them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. Okay, now I'm going to show you something real quick, and we'll come back. Hold on. Now, I've read this before, but whoop-de-ding-dong. It don't matter. I don't think we'll ever completely be able to unlock. We'll always be unlocking it. Maybe we'll be able to unlock every bit, but we are a long ways from getting it all. But I've read this before, and you might remember. But a lot of people, these Torah observant people, I don't even think they think about going to the New Jerusalem. I don't know what they think. But look what Isaiah 51 says right here. Listen to me, you who pursue righteousness, seeking Yahuwah. Look to the rock you were hewn from, and to the hole of the pit you were dug from. What's that mean? Why, if all you got to do is be righteous and seek Yahuwah, why do you have to do this? Why do you have to look to the rock you were hewn from, and the hole in the pit you were dug from? Because right here. Look to Abraham, your father, and to Sarah who bore you. For he was alone when I called him, and I blessed him and increased him. If you don't know what Abraham's story is, Abraham lived he's the father of what they say Israel, but of Yasharal, he's the father. He lived in a land called Ur. And Abba, the Most High, came to him one day and he said, I want you to walk off into the wilderness, and I'm going to take you to a land flowing with milk and honey. I'm going to give it to you and your seed after you, your children, as an inheritance. He made an oath with Abraham, and he said, this is your inheritance. I give you this land forever. 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 And I'm going to show you that. For Yahuwah shall comfort Sion. He shall comfort all her waste places. For he makes her wilderness like Eden, and her desert like the garden of Yahuwah. Joy and gladness are found in it. Thanksgiving and the voice of a song. Sounds like life to me, huh? And doesn't that sound like life to you? Listen to me, my people, and give ear to me, O my nation. The Torah goes forth from me, and my right ruling I set as a light to peoples. My righteousness is near. My deliverance shall go forth. And my arm judges peoples. Judges peoples. What the Messiah, we learn what the Messiah say. Who did he say judges? The word judges. How would the word judge? See, this is more fantasy, more fairy tale. The believers believe that everybody's going to be in a line walking up to Messiah, and he's going to say, next, so-and-so, you did this, you did this, you did that, you did this. No, you're out of here, buddy. That's what they think. Something like along those lines. That's what they believe. Okay? But what did I just tell you about what the Most High told Abraham? He said, this is the oath I make with you. I give you this land forever. What happened in Egypt? He brought the children of Yasharal out of Egypt to the land. Okay? Lift up your eyes to the heavens and look on the earth beneath. For the heavens shall vanish like smoke, and the earth wear out like a garment, and those who dwell in it die as gnats. My deliverance is forever. Forever. Now, let's go back and let me show you that Isaiah or Abraham thing real quick. I don't know, something happened to the way my books are organized in here. I don't know what the heck happened to it. I do not know, but what's the heck? Oh, here we go. Back. There we go. Verse 9. And this is Joshua 14, verse 9. So Moses swore on that day, saying, the land on which your foot has trodden is your inheritance, and your children's inheritance forever. Now, there's all kinds of places that you can go find the truth to that. Okay? So, Here's all you got to think about to keep, if this will keep you going. Think about this. If there's a new city coming down, and it said the earth will, he said that he's going to do away with the heaven and the earth, and the new earth and the new heaven will exist, right? So if that's the case, how is it that he promised that land that they were going to would be theirs forever? Is he going to bring down another land that looks just like it? You see what I'm starting to think, that whole idea that these people that don't believe have, that's more along the lines of that dualistic stuff, right? Like I said, all these words are codes. It's not what it seems. And just think about this before I read any more to you. And I've tried to explain this before, or ask you this question. If you were Abba, okay? Would you, okay, as far as, like, I'm always talking about people that love you. I've told you guys about how people do me, and I'm sure you go through the same thing. Me personally, I don't want to buy love, okay? I don't want someone, I want to be with someone who I know for sure loves me for me. And that through thick and thin, whatever the case may be, she's there because of me, right? I don't want her to want me for something that's material, or that's for in the bedroom, whatever. I want the Most High. He don't want you to love him for the miracles and the bread. He wants you to love him. He wants you to come to him, right? Are you okay? You know how I said the other day, like, you don't know who your friends are until you have to move or you go to jail. When you know, like a rich person, it's hard for them to tell who really is their friend. Would you like to live that life? Are you someone that would like to live never knowing who's really just wants to be your friend because they like you? You don't want that life, do you? You would like to have a friend that just loves you because they love you and they like hanging out with you, whatever. So if that's the case, if you were Abba and you said, I'm going to build this nation that live with me, I want people that I want to have a relationship with, how would you go about doing that? In a world full of people that don't care nothing about you, but basically, would you say, all you got to do is act better than everyone else? Or, every time the truth comes up, show the bottom of your Nikes, whatever the case may be, and I'll whisk you up out of here one day, and I'll bring you here to where I am so you can treat me like you did before I brought you here. You didn't really care then. So why, you see what I'm saying? Would you do it like that, or would you do it like the way you should probably guess Abba would do it, and make it a treasure map like I'm talking about? Because only those who truly love Abba and who is thirsty and digging for him like a pearl will find him. That way, when whoever gets there, he knows is going to love him. There won't be no question. When you get there, by the time you get there, if it's that way, if it's the way I'm telling you, when whoever gets there is going to be in a relationship with him. That's why it's called the marriage supper of the Lamb. So, and that's why it says that no one who is doing abomination or falsehood enters into it. There's no people standing at the gate saying you can't come in. No one will, if you're not a lover of the Most High, you're never going to find it. You're not going to go. That would be the perfect mechanism to separate the wheat from the chaff, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? It is. It's what it is. So that's why you need to know this, because I've been reading to you over and over, and I can show you all you want, that there's going to be, I'll show you. Instead of me saying it some more, let me show you. Okay. I'll get this whole chapter too, but let's look down here, right here, at verse 20, chapter 14. And the wine press was trodden outside the city. The wine press, it says it's the wine press of the fierceness of the wrath of the Most High. And blood came up out of the wine press, up to the bridles of the horses, for about 1,600 stadia. I looked that up, or all you gotta do is hit that right there, 184 miles. So, I always thought, before I clicked on this, that meant the blood, and that's what a lot of believers believe, that the blood goes up to like the bottom of the horse's belly. It's going to be so high. That's not what this means. It means that it'll be around the city that far, if that's the right measurement, and I'm pretty sure it's close. So, and I told y'all that he's drawing everyone in, right? To fight against the city. And that's what we've been reading. So, humor me, okay? And if you really hunger and thirst, you'll look into this. And if you don't, you won't. And, conversation ended, right? Because you didn't hunger or thirst. But if you did, because we just read, it says, the esteem of the Most High lightened it, right? Lightened it. Those are code words, man. It doesn't literally mean that there is no sun or no moon or no stars to light the way for you. It means that the land is no longer under this thick cloud, this covering where you can't see it. But the only way you can see it is when the Lamb lights. The Lamb is your lamp, okay? In this situation, the truth is what guides you and shows you the set apart city. It's just telling you that it's been hidden and that there is a place for your refuge. Because the land has been given to Abraham and them. It's forever. He don't take it up there and wash it and clean it and bring it back down. These are the kind of fantasies that it's destroying the people. Those things are not going to happen. And if you read, like, right here, and I looked and saw the Lamb standing on Mount Sinai, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written on their foreheads. They love him. They're not faking. That's what that means. You can look at him. After you look at him for a little bit, you're like, yeah, that guy, because he ain't never shut up about Abba. He loves him. That's what that means. And it says right here, and I heard a voice out of the heaven, like the voice of many waters, and like the voice of a loud thunder, and I heard the sound of harpists playing their harps. And they sang a renewed song before the throne and before the four living creatures. And no one was able to learn that song except the 144,000 who were redeemed from the earth. The people that believe in fairy tales, they believe that when this all happens, that the 144,000 get together and practice this song, and then they get it down and they start singing it. It's ridiculous. It really is. And it's And he says too, all through his word, he says that the people who don't love him and who don't believe, like what is going to kill them? It's laughable. He says he's laughing at them. And this is what I would do if I was as smart as him, and I wanted to make a way to where if someone would get to me finally by going through that way, I would know they love me. And that's weird. I just remembered that I did something like that a few years ago. And one of you might remember that. And I'm not bringing it up. But that's how I'd want to do it. Because it's hard. Meeting people and then, realizing you really don't like them or then you like them and it ends up being something, But in this method, the way the Most High has designed this method, when you finally get there, there will be nothing to deal with. You'll know for sure because it will have been tested and tried and true. There's no, it's amazing. What I'm trying to relate to you here is far more amazing than twinkle toes up in the sky or just whatever these people think. This is actual stuff that a creator would do. Like, if I was the creator, this is how I would do it. I'm not stupid. I'm not whisking people up here right now that, like, okay, I've told you about people that have never one time opened the Bible with me. What is the Bible? It's the Word of the Most High. How do we know who the Most High is? We got to read the Word, right? I'm going to whisk someone up that can't stand reading the Word, my Word, that tells you about me? That makes no sense. It said abominations, falsehood, idolatry. If you're doing those things, you ain't gonna want to come see this. It's not rules like it's not a rule that you can't say those things or I'm gonna kill you. What it is if you're saying those things, that means you haven't read enough of the Word. And because if you did, you wouldn't be saying those things. And you're not going to find the set apart place. You're not going to get to that far in this treasure map to find the set apart place unless you've moved past, like, that's like a stage. Like, if you read enough of the Word, eventually you're going to see that you shouldn't be using those names. So it's just a fact that no one's going to come into the gates of the city that are doing those things, because you're not going to be that far in the Word if you are. It's not a rule. It makes 1,000,000%. It makes sense. Right here. And in their mouth, it's talking about the 144,000, and in their mouth, no falsehood was found, no falsehood, for they are blameless before the throne of the Most High. So the believers think that this 144,000, they're standing in front of the throne all day, I guess, and they've never said a bad word in their mouth. They've never said shit. I've had so many people tell me that. I promise you. I've had people tell me that I couldn't be 144,000 because I'm a man of unclean lips or something, that I say curse words. That's what they say. It's delusion. It's all delusion. Right here. Saying with a loud voice, fear the Most High and give esteem to Him. Okay? Because the hour of His judgment has come. And worship Him who made the heaven and the earth and the sea and the fountains of water. he's letting you know, worship him who made the heaven and the earth. Don't worship this whatever else who claims they're the ones that made the heaven and the earth. You see what I'm saying? All right, now let's go. Let me see. And trust me, Mish, because you're not going to get all this. There's no way you're going to get it. I'm just trying to get you to see that these are code words. So you can get the hunger and thirst to start wanting to see and find it. Ain't it cool? Ain't that something that you would want to do? I mean, it blows my mind how how people ain't like hitting me up. We're just all day back and forth. I found out this means that. I just can't understand it. I really can't. But yet these are people that'll tell you, I'm going to heaven when I die. Seriously. And hey, I've been that type of person too. So, I mean, don't feel bad if that's you. But let's go back here. Let's read this some more. It said, the earth and the heaven shall pass away, and the sea is no more. Okay? Now we're going down here. So, the stones, okay, the wall, it says the wall, great and high wall, the 12 gates. So, whoever comes through them, whoever finds those pearls, they're going to be of the 12 tribes. It doesn't matter your color. If that was the case, it would say that there's a gate over here for dark-skinned people. And that's not what it says. And it's not like that light-skinned people would be attracted to go to those gates. No. It's saying there's not literally 12 gates on this city. There's not. What it's saying is there will be 12 tribes of Yasharal. They'll be divided into 12 tribes. And they will be the ones who come through the gate. Because whoever comes to the gate, that's who will be the 12 tribes. Because you'll have to be someone who loves the Most High. And the foundations of the wall, okay, hold on. And the city was like clean gold, like clear glass, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, when you go and you look up where the breastplate and stuff was made for the priest, it says that it's the stones were set in gold like clear glass. That's what it says. That's on their chest. And something to do with jasper. Oh, jasper is the stone for Benjamin. And it says Benjamin is the leader of the assemblies. That's what it says. That's why it says the structure of its wall was jasper. But then if you look down here in the stones, jasper's down here too. What this is telling you, Mishpachah, is what I've been saying, that the only requirements to be a priest of the Most High, it says it's someone who Yahuwah is his breath. That means he's talking about it. He prays it. I've talked about this so much. A priest of the Most High is someone who never shuts up about him, who esteems him. And so someone who would be esteeming him, would it be fair to say that someone who would be esteeming him would be someone who would find this map? Because it says the esteem of the Most High lightens the city. And the light and the Lamb is the lamp. What we know, the Torah is our lamp. The word is the lamp to our feet. So if the street, the highway, okay, it's running along the waters from the fountain of life, that means you follow the fountain of life, and the truth, it guides you to the set apart place. You understand that? And you wouldn't see any of that if you weren't esteeming the Most High. That's what this is saying. And if you don't believe it, why can't you at least come reason about it, okay? And if you can't, there's your sign. You don't want to reason about nothing. You just want to be right. But let's look at these. Let's go through all the word and see what all these words mean. And don't just believe that some fairy tale fantasy that you've been told is going to happen. Take it from the word right here. Because the reason it's telling you those stones, it's because he's letting you know. I just showed you. The land was given, it was promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob forever. It's an oath. That's why he brought them out of Egypt, Moses and them, to bring them back to the land. And then they came here and they started doing abomination, and they got kicked out. And idolatry, they got kicked out. And he said, eventually I'll bring you back. And I'll go show you that too. He said, I'll bring you back and you'll live here forever, and there'll be no more sin or nothing. Okay? Well, how would he do that? Because remember, this will make all the sense in the world to you, Mishpika. Before I told you he just brought all of them guys out of Egypt before, and there was probably some of them, we know, there were some of them there that probably didn't even believe in him, didn't care nothing about him. That's why when they got there out in the wilderness, they had the golden calf, all kinds of crazy stuff happened. They were damn babies, big brats, okay? But and he brought them there, and all that debauchery happened. So what would make for sure that the second time he brought them back, what is going to make it to where they'll be able to stay forever and there'll be no more sin ever again? It's what I'm telling you, it's the map. It's, you ain't going to come there unless you're loving him. That's how you find it. It's like Toucan Sam, and he's put out the scent to him, and everyone, that's why the bottom of the Nikes, we keep seeing the bottom of the Nikes, because people don't love him. That's why. And that's why it takes everything you have to get here. Because if there's something that you won't give up, that you would rather keep, that you value more than him, you ain't gonna stay on the trail. He's a genius. Man, you got all the moves, baby. And right here, and the street of the city was clean gold, like transparent glass. So we know the gates are truths, and the street of the city. What's the street of this? There's only one street in the city? But it didn't say. How come there ain't an S behind that street? Why doesn't it say the streets of the city? See, these Christians, they don't love him, or they would notice this stuff. You have to love him to notice these things. It's proof. This is him getting the pudding. It's like, I'll know you love me if you end up here at that time. Because if you don't, well, you didn't love me. And that's why it just said in Isaiah 51, it says, those who seek righteousness and seek Yahuwah, if that's all they had to do, he would have said, seek righteousness and seek Yahuwah, end of story. You're in. And you do have to seek righteousness and seek Yahuwah. And righteousness just means right. Just do what's right. So if there's a fake set apart land, you need to seek the right one, right? If the story of going up to heaven, getting caught up to heaven is the fake, it's not the real, it's not what's really going to happen, then you need to find what's right. That's what he means when he says righteousness. And then he says, look to Abraham. Why did he say look to Abraham? Abraham had to go. And if he wouldn't have went, then he wouldn't have got the promised land, right? That's the deal. The land ain't going anywhere. It says a renewed earth, but it says all matters shall be renewed. There's the land is not going to be new. It's going to be the same place. We're going to live in the same place. But all the posers will be eliminated because only the real are going to find it. Now, okay, we just read about the river and the lamb in the middle of its tree, and the leaves of the nation, or the leaves of the trees is for healing of the nations. So the tree is the tree of life. If the water is the is the truth, and it's the fountain of life, then yes, the truth is going to bring you to life. And no longer shall there be a curse, and the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be upon their foreheads. And night shall be no more. We just read all this. Yahuwah shall give them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. And he said to me, these words are trustworthy and true. And Yahuwah, your Most High of the set-apart prophets, have sent his messenger to show his servants what has to take place with speed. See, I am coming speedily. Blessed is he who guards the words of the prophecy of this book. And I, John, saw and heard these matters. And when I saw, we'll read all that another time, but we need to understand. I'm just trying to get you to understand that this is code. Because once you do, then you can go in and you can just start hunting through it like I've been doing. Because that's what I've been doing. Most people read the word because they feel like it's going to make them a better person or something. They want to read it so they can be like, yeah, I read the Bible last night. And that's just the truth. Or they want to read it so they can quote you a number like, the Lord says blah, 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 and blah, blah, That's what they do. But if we're talking about loving the Most High, the only way to truly love him is to truly thirst. You can know what every verse's number is. But if you don't know what the words mean, what's it matter? What's that matter? That means you did it because you want other people to think that you know what the word is. So you can pull up a number like that real quick. That's all that is. If whoever, the only way someone can prove to you that they love the Most High is if they know what this word says. Because this is the only place to find out about the Most High. And if the words, if the people who claim to love him are so far off on the meaning of the words, you can clearly see they don't love him. It's the proof that's in the pudding. And I've proven to you guys several times how words aren't what they mean. The sword, and the word tells you. The sword. Most people think that's a real, like a battle, a bunch of people on a battlefield. It's not. It's the word. And he knows all the right moves. There's all kinds, everything's coded. So the only way you would know if he's meaning the word when he says this, or when he says this, you would have to love him. You ain't going to love him if you know that John 3:16 says, for you know, that's not love. There's no way. And you know, I tell my son, I'm talking to him, tell him all the time that the one of the big say it on here. One of the problems the world has, if not one of the biggest problems the world has today, is they don't know what words mean. They think because they tell you they love you that means love, but after they say I love you, but then they go doing things that clearly is not of love. Do they love you? No, they don't. I'll know you love me. And you'll know if someone loves you. That's what I want. And I know that's what Abba would want. Right here it says, he who does wrong, he who does wrong, let him do more wrong. He who is filthy, let him be more filthy. He who is righteous, let him be more righteous. He who is set apart, let him be more set apart. See, I am coming speedily, and my reward is with me. This is the truth, to give to each according to his work. You see, people think that if they do enough works, they're going to get there. Your work is what we're talking about right here. I am the Aleph and the Taf, the beginning and the last. The beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are those doing his commands, so that the authority shall be theirs unto the tree of life, and to enter through the gates into the city. So, right there. Blessed are those doing his commands. And if you're doing his commands, then you'll be able to get to the tree of life, to the truth. Like I said, if you ain't even wanting to do his command, like if you don't even care what he's told you to do or not do, you don't love him. Just quit lying. Quit lying to yourself. You don't. And try to figure out if that's you, if you are convinced that you love him, but you feel you do not have to do what he asked you to do or not do what he told you not to do. If you believe that, you need to realize you don't know what the word love means. You might feel like it's affection or it's infatuation. You might be infatuated with the idea of a creator or with the idea of floating off on a cloud up into space and stuff, into heaven. That's probably true. But you can't say you love someone unless someone from an outside perspective can clearly see that you do. You can't speak it into existence. You can't just keep saying I love you, and it be true. It's not. You have to love is an action. If someone says they love me, I'll know if they do. And guess what I'll know if someone tells me they love me, if I know they don't. You know what I'm going to know? That they're a liar and that they're trying to manipulate me. That's what I'm going to know. So the tree of life, the truth says, blessed are those who does his commands, so that the authority shall be theirs unto the tree of life. These believers, what do they believe, that they get a license now to go to the tree of life? That is what they believe. The things they believe, it's laughable. It's hysterical. No, you're able to find it now, because if you ain't doing his commands, you ain't going to be you won't love him enough to even find the truth that I'm talking about. And the truth that I'm talking about, once you're there, you will be able to enter through the gates into the city. But outside are the dogs and those who enchant with drugs and those who whore and murderers and the idolaters and all who love and do falsehood. Right there. They think that those people, the enchanters and stuff, are outside like the walls, and they're saying, let us in. This is why the Messiah said, the door will be shut and you won't be able to come in. It's a it's a masterpiece. There is nothing that's ever been created that can even come close to how genius this is. Like, genius ain't a good enough word for it. But right here, I, Yahusha, have sent my messenger to witness to you these matters in the assemblies. I am the root and the offspring of Daoud, the bright and morning star. And look, the morning star, it guides you. He says, this is Yahusha speaking, so that's the truth. He's the way, the truth, and the life. He sent his messenger. A messenger, I'm going to show you what the messenger is. He sent his messenger to witness these matters in the assemblies. And the Spirit and the bride say what? That says, come. And he who hears, let him say, come. So if you hear this, if you heard what I've been trying to tell you, tell someone else, come. And he who thirsts, come. He who desires it, take the water of life without pain. You ain't got to go to a machine. You don't have to go buy it at a store. You don't have to go to a church. You do have to, it ain't paying really. You have to sacrifice everything of yourself. You have to give up all this stuff. But once you gain this stuff, you'll realize you didn't pay anything. You just let off a bunch of crap that didn't mean anything. And now you're finally getting to profit, to what's real, to the substance that exists in this world. So it's amazing, Mishpachah. All you got to do is thirst. That's all you have to do. Right here. Right here. Revelation 21, verse 17. And he measured its wall 144 forearms, according to the measure of a man, that is, of a messenger. So it's safe to say that when Messiah said he sent his messenger, it could be a man. Or not. But why would his wall measure 144 forearms? Does that make any sense? Mishpachah, I'm telling you right now. And there's if you have never seen this before, and I really doubt you have, because I haven't, and I've never heard anyone talking about this stuff. And so, like I showed you earlier, it said in the video earlier, it says that his sword was put away in its sheath until a certain time. A certain time. It would take until now for this stuff to come out. So if you haven't ever seen this and you start looking and then you come to something that don't seem like it fits and don't stop. You got to stay on the trail. Do not stop. Don't give up. Because there are going to be things that you're not going to get. You're not going to understand. That's why he says, no one comes to the Father except through me. You're not going up around another way. You can't go and just end up there. That's how you know right there that there is no heaven. There's no, not that there's no heaven. There is no twinkling up to meet him. We're going to meet him. But it's not like the world thinks. When Messiah said, no one comes to the Father except through me, that's what he was. This is right here, what I've been reading, that's what he was talking about. That you have to go through the Word. You got to do what the Messiah did. What did the Messiah do? He loved the Most High. And he went to the city, and he was willing to lay down his life for him. The world believes that You just have to say the name Jesus to know. Would that be loving Abba? That's not loving Abba. That is hatred of Abba. That's what that is. You're going to tell me that if love is an action, calling the Messiah, Zeus, saying Hail Zeus every time you're looking at the Messiah trying to talk to him, you're saying Hey Zeus, Hail Zeus. If you think that that's love, you're in that delusion, and please come out of that delusion, because that's all it is. Right here it says, and he who spoke with me had a golden measuring rod to measure the city and its gates and its wall. For those of you who've been around a while, you might recall what we read in Ezekiel about the measurements of the Hakal, and how we learned that that wasn't literal. It wasn't literal, was it? It wasn't. That's why he said, when the children of Yasharal are ashamed of their crookednesses, they can make known to them the measurements of the city, the temple, or whatever, and they can do them. They need to know the measurements, and they need to do the measurements. See? It's a map, Mishpika. There's no, all this isn't a fantasy that everyone's believed. And if you can get that truth, it's far more beautiful, amazing, spectacular. Like I said in the beginning, there is no words for it. And the nations of those who are saved shall walk in its light, and the sovereigns of the earth shall bring their esteem into it. You see? So no one's coming in to the city unless you're given all esteem. You're not going to find it unless you're following the word. You're not going to. The word is what takes you there. Now look, I'm not going to keep you much longer. I just want to show you back here in Jeremiah 23, when it talks about the two exoduses, he says, I'll bring you up, and they'll dwell on their own soil. Look right down here. Verse 10, it says, for the land is filled with adulterers, for the land mourns because of a curse. There's that curse. The land mourns. How does the land mourn? It mourns because it ain't what you think it is. None of this stuff is literal, but it's better than that. It's way better than that. And if you humor me for a second, if it was all literal, could someone get to Abba could someone that didn't love Abba truly, could they still find? Yeah. They could just keep reading, but it would actually take love to have to dig into this word and find the meaning of all of it. That's how he proves you. That's why the word is what judges you. That's how. The word judges you. But down here, let me see. Okay. For who has stood in the counsel of Yahuwah and has seen and heard his word? Who has listened to his word and obeyed it? See, a storm of Yahuwah shall go forth in a rage, a whirling storm. It whirls on the head of the wrong. It does, don't it? Just think about all the fantasies that they believe. They're delusional, plumb delusional. And, I can just tell you an example, like people who have taken advantage of me or lied and done me dirty when I was good to them, and I thought they were my friend or something. What did they get out of the deal? I didn't really let them take advantage of me. I've had people think that they were going to take advantage of me. And when I finally, when I realized what they were, I left. But I realized that they were thinking about it, and they were sitting there. They had all kinds of ideas. in their head. But eventually, you see, I don't mess with them no more. So eventually, you know, I can't use me for a good example when I'm trying to get you to understand. Have you had someone that has lied to you and manipulated you to get their way? And then when you stop giving them what they want, you see the real them, and you see that they really didn't care about you. But what was in their head? They thought they was going to get something. They hit the jackpot, didn't they? But what happened? If you were a real friend to them, they lost you. You're not there. They didn't get anything. All they got was a mockery. They made themselves into a mockery. You saw them trying to lie and manipulate and steal and everything, whatever it is, from you. And in the end, you saw through them. And what they wanted, they didn't get. They're out of your life. And you are better for it, and they are worse. So that delusion is only going to kill you. It's not going to bring you to life. The displeasure of Yahuwah shall not turn back until he has done and established the purposes of his heart. Well, what's the purposes of his heart? The purposes of my heart would be, I want someone to love me. I want to be in a relationship with somebody, but I'm sick of all the bullshit. And so if I'm dating someone and I see that they're not body and they're just trying to manipulate me, whatever, they're gone. I'm not dealing with that. So, but if I can see someone is serious and they're true, then I'll consider it. That would be the purposes of his heart. In the latter days, you shall understand it perfectly. Perfectly, Mishpachah. I can understand, not perfectly, but I can understand what's going on perfectly. But there's all kinds of words that I have yet to find the meaning. There's all kinds of more hidden truths in here that I have yet to unlock, that I still have the thirst and the hunger to find. That's what it takes. That's the love you have to have for the Most High. You can put Facebook post up all you want. You can go twice on Sunday, once on Wednesday, all you want. You can wear zeet. You can say you're 144. You can say all you want. It doesn't matter what you say. Because I just thought of something. The Most High, or the Messiah, said he wished that you'd either be cold or hot, but because you're lukewarm, I'm going to spew you out of my mouth. You can't, unless you're hot, you ain't coming. Unless you're digging through the Word to see who he's about so you can love him, you ain't coming. Yep. So, Mishpachah, I so hope that you understand that these fairy tales we've been told, they're lies. And the only way home is through the Messiah, through the Word, the truth. It's the way, it's the life. And just think about how I just presented it to you. I was no dummy. Are you going to be okay? Are you going to be everything you could be to someone that you can see don't love you? That they say they love you, but as soon as you turn your back, they're doing whatever. They don't love you. You ain't going to want to live with someone like that. The Most High is not stupid. This would be the only way to... It says it's the wedding supper of the Lamb. The only way you would be joined in marriage to the Most High is if you're truly body. And you'll have to prove it. Not by being the best person you can be every day. That's not it. You have to try to do... You are going to want to do his instructions. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You won't even be here. But you're not doing it so you can be a better person. You're doing it because you want to get to the Most High. That's what it's about. The key of David. The key of Daoud. I love you, Mishpachah. I hope you got this. I hope you understand that time, it's getting short, Mishpachah. I mean, the wedding supper, Abba knows the date. He set a date. He's not going to wait forever. And if I'm finding out about this word right now, it just said you'll understand about it. You'll understand it. In the latter days, you'll understand it perfectly. That should let you know that we're in the latter days. I mean, how long until the doors shut? I don't know. But, and what's the doors shut look like? Maybe it's them spraying all that stuff over top of our head with airplanes, except for right over top of the set apart place. And then everybody else falls over dead. And there we are. Could be. That could be how it happens. Who knows? Who knows how it's going to happen? But the word does tell us the only escape is there. And he's not gonna go through all this trouble to bring a bunch of people that clearly don't love him in. The only way to find him is you have to thirst. You have to thirst and come to him. I love you. I hope you find it. Till next time. Peace out. These out.